to continue to grow and evolve your mindset, your skill set, everything about yourself needs to be a constant and never ending form of growth. If you're not growing, you're dying, as I say. So I think the best leaders in the world are continually improving and leading by example. If you want to grow and evolve to be the best version of yourself, the thing that you need to do is continue to increase your human capital. And what I mean by that is to join groups with people that are doing something a bit better than you. And, they can help you rise up. But when you start rising up, one of the best things that you can do is reach down and help pull someone up.
What's going to be, Craig, your go-to, like your top 2 or 3 sales tactics? And we're talking tactics here. Like when you feel like you're trying to crack a deal and it's getting tougher, you're getting more resistance, they're getting a bit more skeptical about what you're selling or saying. What are your go-to tactics when that time comes?
Well, typically, my referral strategy system that I just told you is every business that I do coaching with, most people don't really understand that little art of that strategy. So I always just say, but here's a good way to sell without selling. So number 2 is the who do you know strategy. So when I built my business internationally and I was going to the Philippines, so I've been to the Philippines maybe 15 times, Singapore 20 something times. If I was going to Singapore, I'd put a call out to the universe. Hey, do you know anyone who's living in Singapore at the moment that's interested in health and well-being, that likes to make a bit of extra money and's got a bit of time on their side? And let's say I was talking to you, and you might go, do I know anyone? Yeah, I do. I'm interested, so I can sell to you without selling to you. So a lot of the way that I built that business that I was talking about, the big products business, was I was using a who do you know strategy. Hey, I'm just about to head off to Russia next week. Do you know any English-speaking Russians that are looking to make money online and would like to make a 7-figure income? Yeah, I know heaps of people that fit that category, including myself. Tell me more about it. So it's like a sales strategy without actually selling to the individual, but you're selling to the individual. Another one is reduce buyer resistance before you're selling to them. So if you're selling a product or service to them, if you can take away all the objections before they come up, you're more likely to make a sale. So if you know the 3 common objections that are going to come up in the product or service that you might be selling, if you can answer those objections in the sales process before they come up, you've already answered all the objections and you're more likely to get a sale. So there's 3, pretty, I guess, alternative strategies I say that work very well. The referral strategy, the who do you know strategy, and reducing buyer resistance through asking, knowing the things. Obviously, knowledge is power, conviction is power. So if you know more than they know and you're deemed as the expert, you win. So there's another great way to get good at selling.
Got it. Now, let's talk about marketing. We're at sales. I want to talk about a little bit more about marketing. And I love that you built an engine of growth through referrals and through asking, who do you know that I should know? But how do you market yourself in a broad sense? So when you ask for referrals and you ask, who do you know that I should know? It's kind of like a one-on-one. You got one-on-one conversations going on there. But marketing is more of 1:many. How do you market, Craig? How did you build your 7-digit business? How did you do it?
Just factoring in time to be a guest on shows like yours, all sorts of different shows where, they might have 50 people that watch it. They might have 50,000 people to watch. I've been on some shows that, their audiences are 500,000. I've been on live TV. So getting your name out there is pretty important. Online, I do a combination of both free traffic, so brand awareness stuff, content creating, but also I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in Facebook advertising and funnel building and having teams to do that. So I built a huge database of people that were booking appointments. They were actually already sold to the appointment, and then they wanted to speak to me. So that was like one pretty powerful way, but that's an expensive way to grow your business. I do have a few people on my team that do a little bit of outreach stuff for me. So they'll, go and say, hey, my business colleague, Craig, is looking to get on your show, like that. So that, a bit of outreach that way. I've done PR. So, I have spent a bit of money getting some PR as well, and not just spending money for it, but putting myself in front of people that are looking for stories like mine. So I have featured in a number of, really good publications. As I mentioned, I've been on live TV. So marketing's ultimately more than ever before. Marketing for the sake of marketing means nothing. You want to get them into your email database and email market to them and keep that quality, consistent content going to your database. Now, you could have 50,000 people on Facebook and 0 tomorrow. So don't just fall for the trap of building your audience on a social media platform. You need to have a strategy to move them into an email marketing database of some sort.
For sure. And I hear you. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, Facebook just snapped their fingers one time in Australia, right? That's what happened. Now, let's move forward to leadership. You've done a lot, and the hardest person to lead is yourself, right? Getting up what time in the morning, sleeping at what time at night, being disciplined in what you do, withholding words that you want to say that might hurt other people. It's hard to lead yourself, and you've been doing it in a hardcore way since you were 15. What are some of your top 3 to 5 leadership lessons for leading yourself and your team that you could share with us today?
Look, I'm always about evolution of yourself. So I've invested, and not everyone has the capital to do that. So you need to lean into podcasts like, listening to your podcast, my podcast, whoever, to continue to grow and evolve your mindset, your skill set. Everything about yourself needs to be a constant and never-ending form of growth. If you're not growing, you're dying, as I say. So I think the best leaders in the world are continually improving and leading by example. So if I was leading a team of 100 people, for example, I want to be leading by example to start with. And leading by example is doing the activities that I expect those people to do. So there's no point me just being that authoritarian leader where I'm just telling everyone what to do all the time. I want people to see that, hey, Craig rolls up his sleeves, he's putting in the hours, he's continually doing things to improve our organization as a thing. So I think leading by example is critically important. Having a world-class team around you. So, you want to have like an advisory board of good quality people to bounce ideas off. So I learned through reading the book from Ray Dalio, one of the wealthiest people in the world, called Work-Life Principles. And he talked about the concept of triangulating decision-making. And what he meant by that was simply, let's put it into a health context. Let's say that you had been given a poor diagnosis from your physician about your health and the strategy that they were going to use to intervene to try and help you in that situation. So he took that as really good advice, but let me just get another opinion by a highly credible person. And let me get one more opinion by a highly credible person. And by having 3 different perspectives on his situation, he was able to form a view. I'm not going to go down the operating path. What I'm going to do, this person here said you could probably change your lifestyle. You could do this and you could do this, and then you could potentially manage it. So he said, I'm going to go down that path first, and then we can intervene if I need to. Take that whole idea into business, and that's, a priceless idea in terms of being a great leader as well. And I think the best leaders in the world build people up. So, building that relationship, helping them grow and evolve, understanding their whys, their desires, what's going to make them tick, give them more opportunity if they're looking for more opportunity, and building this sort of like build them up model rather than a corporatized, hey, I don't want you to take my job model. It's, helping people grow and evolve to fulfill their potential. So that's just some insights to what I see is really important. I think good leaders are always trying to innovate and use world's best practice, whether that's bringing new technology to the table, whether it's, it might be introducing a weekly update, team meeting or something like that. So continually to innovate and bring in world's best practice is important as well.
That's amazing. And I love that book. And I remember that story. He was going to go under the knife, which was, that was crazy, right? I mean, they were going to take out some important organ of Ray Dalio's. And if he didn't do that triangulation, he would have lost something from his body already. Really good stuff. I also love The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. A lot of books that you mentioned I've read as well. And
oh, hey, and since you're here, can you do me a favor? Can you hit on the subscribe button and hit the bell button and select all notifications so that whenever we have a new video, you're going to be the first one to know. Until then, keep leading.
If you keep taking the same skills, the same mindset, the same attitude, in the next 10 years, when the next pandemic comes along or the next global financial crisis comes along and the next lockdowns and the next whatever, if you haven't made the change today, you're going to be in the same position again back then.